You sure?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
So, we have witnessed another Vancouver Canucks game. Early on, they didn't bring their A game. Early on, it was a little heavy on the turnovers. And since we were at that end of the rink, could really get a good view of those turnovers. Every time Demko came out, I got nervous. After the first time he handed the puck off to the other team, I got nervous. So that was kind of a Markstrom throwback. Reminded me of Markstrom with those plays. So Vancouver's down 2-0 early, and again, I thought, all right, and I said to her, I said, well, it's nice to be out of the house. Right?
Right. Yes.
What did you think of the game, sweetie?
Like as a whole, or are you talking about at the beginning of the game?
Talk about the entire whole.
It was very fun. That was fun.
Yeah. Was it more fun than being home?
Well, yeah. Generally. It
Was
was
it?
really people-y, though. That was a lot of people.
So, one thing we
That
saw
was a
tonight,
lot of
I don't know that we've ever seen that many people in their seats at the start of a game in Vancouver.
Or in the concourse right before puck drop.
It was
Holy.
very full. So somewhere, Francesco Aquilini's like, yep, see? If I put a winning team on the ice, that's when people show up. He's not wrong. But once the second period rolled around, I got the feeling they got read the riot act in between the first and second. Because they were completely different the second period.
No. In the first period, though, it changed towards the end of the period. Remember me pointing out that towards the end of the period, they were playing way better than they had at the beginning?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that?
Well, because we're both critiquing this. We're both critiquing the game together as a couple.
We noticed during the first period, towards the end of the period, they were playing way better than they did.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm listening. I am the co-host right now. You are the host. And take it away.
No, I said what I said.
All right. So they were down 3-1. And again, you know, one thing I'll say for this Vancouver Canucks team, the difference between these Canucks and previous Canucks teams, when they're down, they're not out. Their body language doesn't become, well, we're screwed. Which in previous seasons, we've seen that. It gets really frustrating. We're like, all right, so they're done.
Yeah.
When we've seen them lose games, we've known pretty early, yeah, they just don't have it tonight. And they didn't have it to start, but eventually they got it together. Miller was fantastic. Hughes was great. Cole made me a bit nervous, the back-to-back penalties and all. But he did pry that puck off the goal line. There was that puck very nearly went in. He pried it off the goal line and cleared it.
Close.
And that would have been the game winner for the Islanders. So Ian Cole got them 2 points tonight. Really good play from him. Hronik, I thought, was quite impressive too. And Bluger really wanted a goal tonight. Like, Bluger was he really wanted a goal. And I also got a kick out of early in the game when Wahlstrom had that one that was a kick save by Demko, and then the next puck hits the side of the net. And just the look on his face, I don't know if you guys could see it on TV, but the look on his face was just, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't get that. Like, he felt it. The Wahlstrom had it in the palm of his hand, and then it was gone. And I've known that feeling just playing street hockey. I can't imagine in front of 18,000 people, or 17,500, however many it is. I can't imagine that feeling of doing that in front of that kind of an audience. And then you got all the people at home watching too, right? Because, yeah, he really was robbed by Demko. Demko, I thought, had a good game. Got better as the game went along, like the rest of the Canucks did. Sorokin, I thought, was decent as well. Sorokin's had a rough start to the season. I've been talking about that. I thought tonight he was good. The Islanders do come out of tonight with a point, and with the way that Vancouver's been playing, coming out of Vancouver with a point it's not a victory, but it's still impressive. The Islanders, I thought, honestly, were all over them at points during the game. And when they had that pressure, when they had that puck on a string, it was impressive. There's the consistency, though, with the Islanders game that seems to be missing. I've talked about that in games I've watched on TV. Now I've seen it live. And yeah, that consistency is definitely something that's eluding them right now with their game. But for Vancouver, once their confidence came back, the body language of the team was good. And not only that, tonight, so first, I was complimentary of Tyler Myers' play more than once. I was complimentary of Tyler Myers' play. He's a big dude. He is, honestly, I think he's a better player than people give him credit for because of his salary. So because his cap hit is so high, I think that's part of the reason why there's as much criticism of him as there is. I thought he played a good game. And Horvat teared up. Now the booing for Horvat, it was really loud in the beginning, but by the end of the game it had kind of gone away.
Yeah.
I did see some posts about it. I took it more as like just jeering more than just actual hate.
Yeah.
Because when they had the video package for Bo,
it was
a standing ovation, and there were a lot of Horvat jerseys in the crowd. I wasn't the only one rocking a Horvat jersey. There was a subscriber sitting kitty corner to us in front of us, and he was wearing the exact same jersey I am. So, jersey buddies, right? And yeah, there was a lot of Horvat jerseys there, and I think if you really hate the player, you're not going to wear his jersey when he comes back. So, Bo was emotional after that. There was a thank you, Bo chant that I don't know if that would have been heard on TV, but there was a thank you, Bo chant that I heard from the Larscheiders, who were up in the corner behind us. But it was a good crowd. It was a lively crowd. It was a fun game. Vancouver wins it. They have a ridiculous record. And honestly, everybody was clicking tonight. I don't have a nitpick. Normally I have a nitpick coming out of a game. Or somebody that I'm like, I really don't like how he played. I don't have that experience tonight. I thought they played well. They got off to the rough start and they recovered. And I saw too that during the game, Thomas Drance did tweet out, this is the first real adversity we've seen them have in a while. It'll be interesting to see how they respond. They responded quite well. For a team that was behind 2-0 and then behind 3-1, it didn't seem to impact them. I have some concerns with the penalty kill coming out of tonight. But at the same time, they were very disciplined after that. The 5-on-3, we saw that. So there's the delayed penalty, and I told her, I said, that's another one.
Yep.
As the whistle's going, I was like, oh my gosh, they just called two. They got both. And so, yeah, the Islanders just couldn't stay out of the box. I think they had a hard time with guys like Hughes and Pettersson, who doesn't. The Vancouver Canucks are playing well. It was nice to have Besser get a 3-point night when I was in attendance. Brock Besser has a history of scoring when I'm there.
That's true.
He does very well in games I attend. So, Brock, you're welcome. Pettersson, you're welcome. And Hughes, that goal in overtime was fantastic. It was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was a good goal.
It was kind of like, it looks like this game's kind of settling in. Probably going to go to a shootout. Oh, never mind. Hughes wants to end it now. And it's done. And that's just, it's the 6th of the season. He's the first star of the game. Absolutely fantastic. The one thing that got me was that Sportsnet named the 3 stars. I was really surprised Barzal got the 3rd star and not Horvat. Horvat had a goal and an assist tonight. I genuinely thought he was probably the best Islanders player.
I thought they said it was Horvat.
No, I heard Barzal.
I
heard Barzal.
I thought they said it was Horvat.
For the Islanders, number 13, Matthew Barzal. So, I'm not saying Barzal had a bad game, just I thought Horvat had the best game of the bunch. Because he's familiar with the rink, he's familiar with the team. And I got the feeling, too, so Demko keeps throwing it left, which I was yelling about in the 3rd period, she'll tell you, that the Islanders were anticipating that. And I thought, that's the kind of thing where Bo would know what his tendencies are. It's one of those advantages to knowing the team really well. But yeah, the Islanders were picking those off, and I was very happily surprised that didn't end up in the back of the net. Very often when a goalie does that, it ends up in the back of their net. Tonight it did not. So greatly enjoyed that, a 4-3 win for the Vancouver Canucks. And I don't go to another Canucks game until around the end of March. We have a game around the end of March we have tickets to. We have tickets to 2 more games in April. But yeah, it has to be a night where there's 4 or less games. Tonight there's 4. And it has to be a night where we can go together and all that fun stuff. So it really limits how many games I can see. But tonight was great. It was a lot of fun and really lively crowd.
Yes.
It is, what a difference between a Canucks crowd when the team is way out of the playoffs. And with this team being first in the division or close to first in the division, yeah, what a difference it makes to that crowd. Huge difference in their tone, their attitude, their feeling. A lot of optimism. So I do hope they can keep it up. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all your support. I did end up meeting a bunch of people. We went to the team store, and it was like Norm and Cheers.
Shannon was spotted.
I knew in that moment how Norm felt when he walked into the bar at Cheers, and I was like, all right, everybody knows who I am.
Yeah, somebody called out your name really loudly, and everybody turned to see Shannon.
Yep.
That was something different.
Yeah.
So weird.
And then they had these new decals that I was like, I could make one of these into a magnet, but I couldn't figure out which one to get, so I got almost all of them. So because they're little jersey ones, and it's got like a mock signature on it of the players. The only one I didn't get is Kuzmenko, because I don't feel like I'm going to need the Kuzmenko one necessarily for videos, meaning I'll order it later. I'll probably order it online to complete the set at some other time. Or my lovely wife here could say, hey, for Christmas. Right?
I try to not get you all hockey stuff for Christmas, though. Because you get all the hockey for yourself. So I have to try and get you some things that are not hockey, right?
Isn't she cute? Isn't she sweet?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't she sweet?
You don't start that.
Anyways, fun game. Great game. Really enjoyed that. For anybody who came over and said hi, thank you. For anybody who didn't see me tonight, maybe the next game. Or come out to a meetup. There's an idea. Whenever we have a chance to do one of those again, which will probably be a while.
Yeah.
But at any rate, thank you guys for all your support as always. I will, of course, be doing the recap of the 4 games tonight when I get home, and then the preview as well, because there's an early game tomorrow in Sweden. So take care. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.